Modern Warfare 3 is just around the corner, and with the new game coming out, it's also coming with a new Warzone map. Now, I'm just going to say this right now, I was not a huge fan of Warzone 2 because I just felt like it was a step in the wrong direction. The map was good, but the gameplay and the UI, it just didn't have me feeling like I did when I was playing Warzone 1. So with all the changes that they have announced, do you guys think the new Warzone is going to be good? If so, like this video and let's get right into it. My name is LJ and welcome to Battle Royale Guides. So we all know the problems that Warzone 2 had coming out of the gate, and I don't really want to talk about that in this video. I think we all know what the problems were. Today I want to talk about everything I think that needs to change from Warzone 2 going into the new Modern Warfare 3 Warzone, and everything that I feel like would just make the game better and return to the glory days of Warzone. So to start it off, we're going to talk about pacing. There's multiple things that go into pacing and how the game will play. And I think this is huge to get right, and it will play a huge part in the longevity of Warzone. First off, I want to talk about player count. In Warzone, before Warzone 2 came out, we had player counts up to 152, like in Vanguard quads, while Warzone 2 only had 100. And with the sheer size of Al Mazrah in Warzone 2, it kind of just made the gameplay really slow, especially if you didn't land in like a hotspot, or if you like loaded up on UAVs and pushed every red dot that you could see. In Warzone 1, you didn't really have that many boring games because I feel like the map size and the higher player count meshed really well. For this next Warzone map to succeed and survive for a long time, I feel like they need to definitely increase the player count from just 100 to I would even go to 152 if the map can support it. For this next Warzone map to succeed and survive for a long time, I feel like they need to increase the player count for sure, just to make sure that no games are boring and you always have some action to go to. Next up for pacing is the movement, and I'm actually pretty optimistic about this one because of all the changes that they're going to be going back to with Modern Warfare 3, just kind of dropping all the movement like cutbacks that Modern Warfare 2 had, especially with how the movement's going to work and the comeback of the slide cancel. But the slide cancel is not going to be the exact same as it was in Warzone 1. In Warzone 1, with your slide cancel, it would actually reset your tac sprint, and I'm pretty sure this was unintended, but they never really fixed it. And then in Warzone 2, they just straight up removed it and then went to this slower, clunky style movement that honestly made me feel like I was playing in mud sometimes, like if you had a bigger gun like a RAL LMG or something. And so I don't really have that much to say on the movement, to be honest, because from what we've seen from the limited gameplay and all the leaks of what they've been telling us with how they're going to be changing the movement, I feel like it's going to be in a good spot, unless they like nerf it later on somehow and just either remove it or just make it really slow. But I have hope for Sledgehammer to keep up the good work and deliver us an amazing Warzone experience. Also guys, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, make sure to leave a like on it. And if you guys have not already and you guys want to see more Warzone content and more Warzone videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button with notifications on so that you don't miss any videos when the game comes out. Anyways, let's get right back into the video. Next up, we're going to be talking about the perks, and they need to make sure that they balance them well in Warzone. When Modern Warfare 3 started their marketing cycle, I saw one thing that made me think that they have to make sure to balance properly within Warzone, and that's the existence of a Dead Silence perk. One piece from Warzone and Warzone 2 was that Dead Silence existed, but it always existed as a field upgrade. And I do love that Dead Silence is coming back as a perk, but I feel like it needs to stay within multiplayer. People being able to have Dead Silence all the time within Warzone would just be anti-fun, and they definitely need to separate the two. We've seen perks that have only existed in Warzone, like, what was it, Serpentine and Combat Scout. And I do like those perks only being within Warzone, even though I felt like Combat Scout was a little bit strong. I think that they also need to do the other way around and make sure that there's some perks that are only available in multiplayer, and Dead Silence is definitely one of those. Or they could kind of try to balance it in a way to where it didn't last forever and you had to manually activate it, so it was kind of like a field upgrade but in a perk slot. So you'd really have to think about when you're using it as a perk if you're manually activating it and stuff. But honestly, at the very least, it needs to be like that. I'd rather it just not exist in Warzone, but we'll see what happens. To be fair, I honestly doubt that they overlooked this and just have Dead Silence exist in Warzone, just unrestricted, and you just always have silent footsteps. I really doubt that it's going to be like that. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it should be in Warzone and it just be a little bit different and you have to maybe activate it manually? Or do you guys think that Dead Silence should only be within multiplayer? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you guys want to watch some live Warzone gameplay, I'll be live on my Twitch channel when the game comes out. A ton. So my Twitch channel is twitch.tv/LJGG. I'll put the link in the description. And if you guys just want to chat about the new game or just chill and watch some Warzone gameplay, I'm really going to be going hard on the live stream. So make sure to follow me on Twitch and let's get right back into this video. So next up, I feel like the map needs to be good and not need that many changes early on. So like, In Warzone 1, when Verdansk dropped, the map was really good, but there were some changes that definitely needed to happen, especially in the downtown area. There was these buildings that you just only could get up either by indoor zipline or the stairs, and it just made it an absolute rat nest in downtown. This just wasn't really that fun to go against. Like, if you saw a team that was just hiding all at the top of a building, you kind of just wanted to avoid it, because for the most part, you're going to be running into claymores, prox mines, they all have just stuns, riot shields, Kali sticks, the works. Like, it was not fun to play against. So I hope that they have things like that and keep up with like their updates that they had, like the zip lines on the outsides of buildings on downtown, just things like that. I am super excited for this new Warzone game, and I do have to say, I like the Warzone 2 map. Like, honestly, if they kept to that kind of style, I would be happy. I just didn't really like the gameplay of Warzone 2. That's why I stopped playing it for like pretty early on. Basically, the map was good, the gameplay was not fun for me. If you guys could have the map be any way you wanted, would you want it to be similar to Al Mazrah or Verdansk? But don't say Caldera, because you're nuts if you like Caldera over those two maps, honestly. But I don't just want to consider my opinion here, so I would love to hear what you guys think. Next up, honestly, just bring back Verdansk. This adds on to the last topic, but honestly, like, I miss playing on Verdansk, man. Like, I did see some creators figuring out a way to have like a cracked version of like a very early build of Verdansk, and people were playing on it. I didn't really want to get involved and make videos on it or promote it, because I did think that there was some sort of legal thing that would probably happen, and the project ultimately got hit with a cease and desist. So I didn't really want to get involved with that, but honestly, I'd be so hyped if they just said, you know what, screw it, we're just going to bring back Verdansk. I would love to see a new and unique map with new POIs, but honestly, I would also just be super fine with it if they just brought Verdansk back. But I do know how this works, and if you look at previous Call of Duties, the Warzone map usually just had a lot of POIs that were maps that were within multiplayer, so I would not be surprised if this new Warzone map is just a huge map with a lot of the OG Modern Warfare 2 maps as POIs. At the end of the day, we're going to see what the new map is at the COD Next event, but I know I'm not the only one that would love to see Verdansk just back in the mix. It's where I really got into the BR games and had a lot more fun with them, and I think it would be so much fun to drop back into the classic spots. Like, for me, it was TV Station or Superstore. So the last topic I wanted to talk about was having good modes at the start, and then maybe even having an unannounced Resurgence map. Warzone has had its fair share of different modes, like including buybacks, where if you had the money to buy somebody back, it would just auto-spawn you back if you died. And then you had Iron Trials, where you would have increased base health beneath your armor, and then also a different loot table. And then also Resurgence, which was always a nice time on that Rebirth map. For me, I would love to see the classic solos, duos, trios, and quads, and then maybe having buybacks as well right at the beginning. I think Iron Trials was to test out how extra health worked within Warzone, and I think it was at 300, I believe. And while this was fun, I don't really think Iron Trials is going to be really that needed at the beginning, especially if the 150 HP change in multiplayer is also going to exist in Warzone. But I would love to see buybacks back at the start of the game. Now, I do think it's just gonna probably be the solos, duos, trios, and quads, but hey, a man can dream. Now, on to the other thing. Imagine if we got a Resurgence map that they have not marketed at all, and then we're just gonna see it at the COD Next event. So just out of the blue, we get Warzone plus Resurgence on a brand new, smaller map. I would be in heaven. Some of the best times in Warzone for me was on Rebirth Island, and then also on Fortune's Keep, but unfortunately Warzone 2 came out shortly after that, so we didn't really get to play it that much because they shut it down. I mean, hell, I'd even be happy if they just brought Fortune's Keep back just to have a small map for Resurgence. Hell, I'd even be happy if they brought Fortune's Keep into Modern Warfare 3 just to have a smaller map for Resurgence. So do you guys think this new iteration of Warzone is going to have a secret drop of a Resurgence map, or do you think it's just going to be Warzone off the rip, and then we'll get a Resurgence map later in like a season update or something? They gotta know how successful Rebirth was, and I mean, honestly, it dominated my For You page on TikTok for like months on end when it came out. There's a huge community that loves BR, but also loves the smaller maps with a little bit of faster paced gameplay. So I'm really hoping that we get a map like that ASAP after the game comes out. I'm excited, guys, and honestly, like, I feel like this game might make COD great again, and I just cannot wait for it to come out. And like I said earlier, if you guys want to watch some live gameplay and chat with me about the new game, I'm going to be live as much as possible playing Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer and Warzone. So if you guys want to catch that, make sure to follow my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/LJGG. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to drop a like on it. That's the #1 way to help this channel grow and push this video to more people. And also, if you guys have not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button with notifications on so that you never miss any uploads. As always, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. My name is LJ, and this has been Battle Royale Guides.